Yeah, you could call me filthy. 멀리에서 왔지. NYC Timberland 구두 입고 왔지. LAX touchdown. I ain't sleep in a beat. Sleep on a beach. 사나머니까 도착했지. 난 아직 알지. I got a lot of things on my mind 말만 하지. You are the suckers playing games. I've been through it all. 지옥 같은 인생 put into a song. Stupid long. Get in the car. 지금 rodeo driving. Sonny we be riding. Top down, cruising down, freeway vibing. California calling, LA got the party. Chilling out in Cape Town, terracotta get down. Hold on, yeah, hold on, yeah. Venice Beach, Malibu, that's the truth. Hold my soul, hold on, yeah, hold on, yeah. I'm talking Beverly, off the Century. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? 나 지금 왔지, you know. 파란새로 왔지, 난 멀리 갔지. Okay, I'm out here chilling on the balcony. 여기가 좋지. 좋아할 줄 몰라서 난 지금 so me And so many times 뉴욕 절대 떠날 생각도 마라 Flying high 추운 날씨 피해 캘리 또 가봐 꿈을 꿔 I've been dreaming about this ever since day one I was young 어렸을 때부터 제일 원했던 Talk about the money 내가 벌었던 버릇없이 talk about my day ones 내가 버렸던 Dreaming of a brighter day you know I had to dim it sun 찾아가야 되는 길이 이미 길었어 가야 되는데 hopping off of that brand new pants Okay now no new friends When I'm a god that I'm innocent 나 기억해 주머니 써 찾고 있어 my flip phone 내 인생 like a bad dream 계속 서 있어 뛰어로 원인을 속아서 적게 돼봐 Yeah 시작 아직 앉아서 nothing 사람이 뭐래도 I'm my bad You wouldn't believe all the times in my life 내가 포기할 자신 난 누가 나를 봐도 알아줄 수 있는 거는 내가 팔로처럼 I'm wavy Rodeo driving Sonny we be riding Top down cruising down freeway vibing California calling LA got the party Chilling out in Cape Town, terracotta get down. Hold on, yeah. Venice Beach, Malibu, that's the truth. Hold my soul, hold on, yeah. I'm talking Beverly, off the Century, know what I mean? Malibu and now with two. Sandy Beach is 소중한 내 소정 유는진이 계속 value you and Janie cool. I'll be back in LA soon, guess that's the move, yeah. Malibu and now with two. Sandy Beach is 소중한 내 소정 유는진이 계속 value you and Janie cool. I'll be back in LA soon, guess that's the move, yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy One Gun, and today, folks, I am back for a Super Friday stream. This stream is going to be mix of a lot of stuff I've been up to lately. One of the biggest things I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to play around. Well, I've already played around with Blender, and here's the results of what I've done in Blender. And I've been telling people for a while that I said I'm going to go in Blender. I'm going to actually do something in Blender. I'm going to figure out how to get the frames rate right and all the other good shit right. And so far, I found the way to do it. I've also found a new thing to me. It's new to me. About this thing called about camera rigging. Alright, this is rendered to Eevee. This is being rendered to Eevee right now. So this is like an Eevee render off my GPU, not my CPU. This is off the CPU. It's be moving a lot slower. But I figured out that the reason why most of the problems I was having, like when I did the playback, was basically because I had this thing not running off the GPU but the CPU. So I figured that out. A lot of settings over here. So I got this at 60 frames per second. I set it to 24, which I don't think there's too much of a difference. It's just less frames. Whatever. But yeah, so the frame rate matters. You know, my frame rate inside of iClone is like at 60 frames per second. So that's why I set 60 frames per second. Now, when I start really getting to this, I'm going to actually I think you can set the frame rate to transfer over here to 24 frames per second from the from iClone to over here, but I haven't figured that out yet. But I've also learned how to use this thing called a camera rig, and the coolest thing about it is that I like it. Sort of kind of work. It kind of actually got it set up to work better than the cameras inside of iClone and inside of Unreal Engine. And the thing about it is, like, I can just grab, where's my helper? I got this little helper thing here. I can hit grab and I can move this anywhere I want to target the actor. I can target the actor anywhere I want to, and I can also, I do believe, is this it? Or is this it? I click on this and I can grab this and I can play around with the you can't probably see it because of I can like grab this right here and play around with the focal length. So yeah, I think this is way better. In my opinion, this is way better than what I had to deal with inside of iClone and Unreal Engine. I found a way to get better control over my camera. You know, I can, like, as long as I keep my target here, I can like grab this and move this anywhere I want to, and as you can see, the camera is going to stay focused on him at all times, so I can do all this all I want to. So I learned how to make this. Followed a tutorial on YouTube about making your own camera rigs and stuff, learning how to animate the camera. I've learned a lot of things, and get to the point that I just may just come over here and do something over here. As you know, this is the character for my animated Demon Hunters Guild, and since I had him like already ready to come over, already ready to go in Blender, I just went ahead and slapped the animation on him, did a little tweaking to the pose, you know, add some facial animation to him, and came up with this. You know, just something to play around with the camera. So this was a really good test to see if I can. And I got more stuff to do too. So you know, when I come over to Blender, I'm usually coming over to Blender to mess around with with the modeling aspects of it, because that's what I use Blender for. Ever since I stopped using Maya and Max, I was always using Blender, but I was using Maya and Max for a long time. And what I did is I stopped using them because they cost too damn much. The only thing I keep from Autodesk is Motion Builder. That's it. That's all I use from them. But Blender seems to be pretty damn good. So for over the years, I've been learning. Oh yeah, I did have at one time ZBrush. So I stopped using ZBrush. Now I use Blender for everything now. You know, because it's affordable as of $0. But it's the plugins. Some of the real good plugins. Some of the real good plugins I got. Like, here are my plugins over here. A couple of plugins you guys should know about is the Tune Kit. The Quad Remesher, the Simply add-ons, Simply Cloth Pro, This one, the Sci-Fi Flex, this is a really good add-on. It helps you make like sci-fi cities and stuff like that. You know, really good add-on. Dash to Blender, Auto Rig Pro. Now, Auto Rig Pro doesn't work too good inside of 4.4, so I'm gonna keep using 4.3 until they fix it, which will probably be in 4.41 of Blender. So. But I've had this for a long time. Only paid for it once, and I get free updates. Animation layers. I bought this too as well. This was a pretty good tool. Box cutter and CC4 pipeline, which is free. Let's see, what's this one? I think this one is V Surface. Oh, that's what's next. VRM. VRM is for if you want to bring in your Vroid model. So if you got a Vroid model and you want to bring it into Blender, you export it out of Vroid and you bring it in here. And I would suggest you use something like Auto Rig Pro to re-rig it, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, you can definitely bring your models in from Vroid, bring them in here. This right here, I do believe this is KitOps. KitOps is a very, very good add-on to make stuff, you know, computers, sci-fi hallways, sci-fi components like monitors. I mean, it's really good, you know. And I bought that just for this. I'm gonna start playing around with it soon, just so I can make stuff with it. This is another add-on. This is a line art. I think it is line art something. But what it does is it takes something like this and make it into line art. That's all it does. And don't forget, we got the Miku Miku dance for real good. I've used this plugin time and time again to get like Miku dance anime characters into Blender stuff. Well, that's just a couple of them I had. I have Retopo Flow too as well. I don't know where that is. It should be here, but I have Retopo Flow. Crop Remesher is like the best retopology tool. It's just like the retopology tool inside of what's the name of that program? Fuck, I use it all the time. I'm getting old, folks. ZBrush. It's just like the remesher in ZBrush, you know, but matter of fact, it's for the people who made the remesher in ZBrush, made this quad remesher to be like the equivalent or exactly the same. Hey, what's up, Immortal Rising? How's it going, man? And so, yeah, so basically, folks, this is the fun I had today. This is the fun I had last night to this morning with Blender, and the fun is going to keep growing. All right, the fun is going to keep growing. Another thing, folks. Another thing I want to get on before I get into doing anything else is to show you guys when I show you guys about bullies and jerks and stuff like that. And today I got some interesting news about a jerk today on Twitter. So here's one of the biggest jerks out here. No, it ain't Stimulated Cynic. It's this guy right here. So this guy named Larry P. Higgins has decided to open up a one-man campaign against people that he perceives as racist. And think about this little guy is that he's been going around on this thing for months, you know, trying to aggravate and do stupid shit to get people to buy his shitty book. He makes this little 20 to 25 page book called Niobe. It's a piece of crap book. It's a generic pigtail wearing, short skirt wearing character. Anybody can make. You know, I've been drawing these characters for years, these types of characters for years, and I think I posted it up in here on Twitter saying that I've been drawing shit like that since like 2010, 2011, and this fool thinks that he does the same thing and he's a revolutionary, he's making money and stuff. And then he went from saying that his character is so original to his character being it's not his character, it's his what did you say later? It's the writing, and the writing is batshit bad. But he goes around calling people racist for no reason. He goes around and makes these fake, phony list of people and tell Marvel. And he makes his little letters and emails to Marvel and DC and stuff like that. Now, the only other person I know who do this type of shit is Maestro. You know, he does this shit all the fucking time. You know, and it's stupid. It's just real stupid. So. When he put my name on that stupid list of racists, he put me on the list of racists. Me, of all things, he must have missed. He must have missed the mini post I made. He must have missed out on the mini post I made against Elon Trump, the Republican Party in general. He must have missed. I mean, if you go to my Twitter and look at everything I've posted, you know, he must have definitely looked over my post for Black History Month. He must have looked over. He must have just overlooked all that shit. But he put me on the racist list. Racist against who? He never mentioned what I'm classified as a racist for. But he did it. He did it. I just laughed and I said, you know what, this. And what it is, folks, it's cancel culture. That's all it is. It's people who are angry and mad and sad in their own lives, and they don't see a way out. So what they do is that they try to find a way out, or try to find some erroneous cause, and go after people for no reason. You know, if someone doesn't like you, and they like that person who does not like you, well, then they're gonna hop on that bandwagon, then they're gonna come after you. And that's what basically Larry, well, we call him Cat Food Larry, and I'll tell you why we call him Cat Food Larry in a minute. And that's why Larry has done everything he's done. I mean, it's not just me; it's a whole bunch of people that he's targeted. So the thing about the history of Cat Food Larry is like this. The problem with him is that he was going around boasting and saying how much money he's making with this one character he got called Niobe, which is basically a ripoff of Free Fall from Gen 13, Harley Quinn with a little bit of Psylocke in it. That's all the character is. And I'm like, dude, I've been drawing these fucking stupid looking characters for years. Pigtail Asian girls in mini skirts. I mean, who hasn't drawn that shit, you know? Oh, she has some Harley Quinn facial mask on her. I mean, facial paint on her. Ooh, you know? So, you know, I went back in time. I went back to my DeviantArt page. I went to my old Facebook pictures to see if I got any pictures like that, because that's what we did back in the day, because that shit was fun 13, 14, 15, maybe 20 years ago, you know? And I did, you know, and hey, Autumn, how's it going? And I did, and what I found was, you know, I drew this shit all the time. You know, I drew this shit all the time. And, like, anytime I made, like, some fucking stupid Asian character. She always had pigtails. She always had the fucking like Asian S, not a real Asian name, but something that sounded Asian. And she had a mini skirt, pigtails, and the dark goth lipstick. You know, it was fucking stupid. You know, and unlike Larry, I grew up out of that shit. Only to return to it years later to talk about it. But yeah, that's his character, just generic shit anybody could have made. And what he does is that he makes these comic books, and the comic books that he makes are nowhere near what most indie artists are making. Right? Most of these comic books are his books are like 20 pages long, and they ain't a lot. That's not like a lot of these guys. They're doing like 60-page books, you know, 40-page books and stuff like that, because they can get 35 $40 out of a book. This guy is like doing the same thing, and I think he's charging. I don't know. I forgot how much he's charging, but I'm thinking he's charging around maybe like $15, $20 a book. You know, maybe a little less. You know, I might somewhere in that ballpark. But you know, just to print 25 books at like 20 to 25 pages a book costs about like what, $3.99 a book. So 25 books, that's like $100. To do a run of like 100 books. That's fucking shit. That's let's see, 100. That's about $400. That's $400 for 100 books, you know. And that's just like minimum. I mean, that's like the cheapest. That's like the cheapest printer I can find. That was the cheapest people I can find with the most minimalist book. You know, just plain Jane, you know, straight printing. So $3.99 is what I see as the average of printing a 20 to 25 page book with just a regular cover. You know, now you get to specialty covers, the price is gonna cost more, right? Your book's gonna go up from like for $3.99 to get one printed to maybe like $5 or $6. So you're gonna have to charge damn near. You got to charge double. You know, you got to charge like $12 a book. You know, because you got to make your money back in profit, right? And looking at what he's done, and that's not all, because this is a crowdfunding campaign. So you got to think about like the tiers, all this tiers and stuff, all the specialty stuff, like from posters to stickers to coffee mugs to T-shirts. That stuff has a price to be shipped. It costs money to ship. You know, the weight costs money to ship that shit. And so, he lowballed. First of all, he lowballed his fucking crowdfunder to $5,000. Now, if you have a history of doing campaigns, and your campaigns are making like over $10,000, $15,000, and everyone is making, everyone your Kickstarters are making over $10,000. You know, you're barely making even. You know, you don't see profit unless you get over that 15,000. You know, you get up to 20,000. When you see 20,000, well then you made some money back. But if you, I mean, if you are under 15K, you know, in U.S. money, not Canadian, you're gonna run into some problems shipping shit. You know, it costs money to ship. When you do a crowdfunder, the book is not even printed. The book is to be printed once you raise enough money to print the book. You know, is the book paid for? Is the artist? Hopefully, the artist is paid for. Because I'll be honest with you, to produce a book like he's doing with all the covers and all the colored inside and shit like that, you're gonna be out of like 5, 6. Sometimes, I mean, the way his book looks, maybe around like 8, 9 grand to do one comic book out of your pocket. You know, crowdfunding, you know, you gotta make like double that back, and then some, because don't forget, you got stuff you gotta deliver on your shit. You know, a lot of these people who do these crowdfunders don't think about that. They think about the money that they want to make versus the money that they have to make. I know I want to do a campaign and I want to make about 5 or 6 grand. But whatever you're offering, you know, you're gonna have to, you know, throw that on top of that 5 or 6 grand. So you instead of saying that you want to make 5 or 6 grand off of what you're trying to put out there, you gotta say, well, I gotta make at least about 20 grand. You know, to get my 5 or 6 grand out there 20. I guarantee you, if you make 20 grand, you know, you're gonna get your 5 or 6 grand, or maybe somewhere around that ballpark. But this idiot decides that he did a campaign already which failed. You know, not only that, he was going around bragging about how he's a great comic book artist and he's got his stuff on the shelf and he's with Diamond and Antarctic Press. Well, let me tell you what happened. After he came on our show with me, Ruby, and Cynic and all this stuff, he got scrambled. He got scrambled because he went on this week-long bullshit tour, and I guess this is after his campaign failed. One of his campaigns failed. His cosplay, whatever the fuck it was, it failed. So he got mad. So he started, you know, going around causing trouble. Came on our show, acted a fool, and then after he finished acting a fool, he went on to where did he go to? He went on to Ethan Van Scriver's show. Ethan Van Scriver and Liam made him look stupid, you know, because he's saying he's in the long game, right? So, you know, karma always comes back to eat you in the ass. So karma came back to this motherfucker in a big way, because a week after he did that shit, I say maybe a week and a half later, Diamond said that they're filing for bankruptcy, right? And and then it was funny. It was real funny to see that Diamond was crashing and he's crying. So he's crying and trying to rub up on Eric July's nuts. Now, if you really don't know what Eric July is, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, he's another figure out there. So he went around saying, "Oh, Diamond's not finished. Diamond's not finished." And Diamond was Diamond, in the way it was, is finished. It's gone. It's kaput. You know. The people who ran Diamond were greedy bastards and ran their company to the ground, and they thought the same mafia tactics that they've been doing for like the past 30 years were going to keep on working in the noble year of 2025, and they found out they were wrong, you know, because they came to realization that, you know, oh yeah, we're getting outdone by these other smaller distributors out here, and they're actually giving people the books they need. But the thing about it is that Diamond has a huge infrastructure, and they were like the standard, you know. And it's sad to see them go, but they've been bought out. That's another story. But like, yeah, they went out of business because of stupidity. And one of the companies associated with Diamond that distributes through Diamond is Antarctic Press. Now, Antarctic Press is the people that had Larry's books, Cat Food Larry's books, and they were selling them. And the thing about it is that the books were there, and they were getting them to what shops they can get the books in. But the problem is that nobody was really ordering the books. You know, he was making like, I think he was making like a $1,500 check or $1,200 check every quarter, or maybe every other quarter. I'm not too sure. I was never given the exact idea, but he was getting some type of kickback from Antarctic Press for his books if he was selling them. But the thing about it is that Antarctic Press would do shit like, if you order Gold Digger, if you order any of their books from their top creators like Gold Digger, Ninja High School, it's a couple of other books that actually sell at Antarctic Press. They will actually throw in a copy of shit that's not selling. So Niobe's one of those books that they sent, and I know this for a fact because I just went to a comic book store not too long ago, and I asked them, was like, how did you get these Niobe books in your possession? And they basically told me they sent those books to us for free. It was each one of his so-called sold-out books, each cover, each one, even his Kickstarter books, made it through Antarctic Press to that store, and that's because they sent those books free of charge to that store to see if that store would want to order more stuff besides the other stuff Antarctic Press had, like Gold Digger, Ninja High School, and a couple other titles, you know. So that's basically what fucking happened. Well, that's basically how I was able to find his books in that store. Now, I went to three or five other stores to find out more about this stuff, and guess what? Nobody else don't have his books, and the reason why nobody don't have his books is because they don't order Antarctic Press books at these stores that I go. You have to get those books on special order. So you have to say, you have to walk the store like, I want to order this book, and they will order the book for you. You know, you'd be better off just going straight to them, to their website, and ordering a book, because that's basically what they're going to do in the comic book store and just charge you for it, you know. So that's basically how I found his books in the store. And most of like I said, most of the time you see an Niobe comic it's like one of each of the covers, like I said, because those are samples. Those are samples that the store get to ask them to order more of the books. So his books aren't really getting in the stores; they're being sent to the stores. So after that, you know, weeks after that, you know, after the shit with Ethan Van Scriber, the shit with Diamond. Him like coping, then another cope came because Antarctic Press announced that they're not going to be soliciting any more creator-owned books through their website. I mean through Diamond. They're only going to be doing their stuff, their core creators. So once again, he was on the chopping block. You know, he's still going on about, oh, Antarctic Press is going to do this. Antarctic Press ain't going to do nothing but try to survive. And they're telling you to get off their ship because you're the rat. You're the rat on their ship. You know, their ship is burning and they plan to be the last ones off, but the rats got to go first. So they got rid of his book Niobe and all the other garbage he had on there. So then he goes on a tirade for a few weeks because he's angry because everyone's laughing at him. Because every step that I've dealt with this little troll, it's always been laughter because he is someone to be laughed at. That's all he is. He's someone to be laughed at. And I've been laughing at him. So he finally disappeared. He disappeared for a while, but I knew way back in January, February, he might rear his ugly head again, and he might pop up somewhere because I know that he has his Niobe Outbreak 4 coming out. So his new comic book is supposed to come out. Now, this is off the heels of his other book that failed, right? His book failed, right? And because it failed, it's obviously he didn't have enough money right away to put out another book. Because usually what he'll do is he'll put a book out, and after he put the book out, whatever money he made off that book, he would make reprints after reprint and just make money off of reprints until, you know, he can't make no more money off the reprints. So that's basically what happened. So this time around, his book failed. So he had to find a way to get the revenue to actually do the next book, which took a long time because usually he puts this shit out pretty fast. So, so he went ahead and he finally got enough money to, I guess, pay an artist. Here it is. He has to pay an artist, a colorist, a inker, a letterer. He has to pay these 4 people plus whoever made his oh yeah, I forgot his variant cover. So I know it is Larry. I know he has variant covers. So I know for a fact that he has variant covers and shit like that, you know. So what was over here? So Stimulate Cynic has sent this over here. It said it had made this post. I didn't even know this post. This post was posted like 15 to 14 hours ago. I didn't even know about this. But to get to what's going on now, so he goes up and he makes a post a few days ago, and the reason why he made the post is because it was just as I figured. You know, he put his campaign to be funded at about $5,000, right? I mean, that's the lowest he can possibly go without putting himself in debt. So he went and put it up at $5,000, and it made it over $5,000. Actually, he made double that money, right? He made $5,000. He made over that, but $5,000 Canadian ain't that much. It ain't that much. It's probably gonna cover the cost of him like producing the book to a certain extent, but it probably is not enough money for him to actually mail your book to you. You know, like I said, he's gonna run into the problem because $3,000. I don't know what $5,000 Canadian is, but I think it's somewhere. I think $5,000 Canadian is maybe around less than $3,000. It's gotta be less than $3,000. Because a 4 or 5, the Canadian dollars are like always like $2.50 behind us. So I think it's like $3,000. So if you multiply that by like 2, he's made somewhere in American money something like, I would say something like $6,000, $7,000. Now it probably took him like $10,000 to produce the book. Don't forget all the ads and all the other shit. I mean, no, it takes a lot of money to produce a book. I don't care what anybody say. You know, to get to print a book is the lowest I found the book to be printed is like around $3.99 per book. To get that's printed. That's not and you gotta, if a book is gonna cost you like about $3.99 to print, you're gonna have to sell the book around $10. The lowest you can go is $5 or $6. You know, but that's what he basically that's what he's into. So now he's over here. You know, weeks after. My bad. We haven't got to this part yet. So. About like earlier this week, I found out that my name was on a list of. Actually, it was last week. Last week, my name was on a list of supposed racists, and I think I spurred out just a little bit, folks. I spurred out just a little bit. I got mad because I'm like, how the hell he gonna call me a racist when he's the biggest bigot? You know, last time I talked to him, he was the biggest bigot I ever met. You know. Talking about, going after me, going after me for no reason, shit like that. My first time meeting this fool, and I went ahead and I did my thing. And I was like, okay, fine. He's trying to do his like this fake canceling shit, right? This fake. He's just fake. He's fake. He's a fake little troll trying to drum up some extra dollars to get so he won't go bankrupt trying to put out another crowdfunder where he's not going to make no money off of. So yeah, that's what he did. And what I did is I went back. I went 2 for 2 for the cancel culture. I went ahead and started a change.org petition. I started emailing. I emailed. Now this is on the day he did that. I emailed Kick. I emailed Indiegogo, Marvel, DC, all the people that he contacted and said I was a racist and they shouldn't work with me. I emailed them too and actually gave them everything he's done. I mean, sent them everything he said and done, and how he's using Twitter to try to sell his book on Kickstarter. And I do believe Kickstarter don't like people doing that shit. And when you see somebody do it, you need to point it out. So that's all I did. And I did this before I went on to the King stream, to do some talking to these guys over there. I had to do some talk. Sorry, that wasn't intentional. That cough. I actually had a little cold. So She heard my voice. So I went up there. I had talked to the guys, and then they was telling me how gay it was to sit back and try to cancel Larry. And I was like, I don't get it. He's trying to cancel me. He's trying to cancel all you all by going around lying and doing this fake cancel culture shit. So I said I'm gonna actually do the cancel culture. All the shit these motherfuckers talk about that I'm against. I said I'm gonna do it just for him to show him how it's really done. So I went ahead and I did it, and people frowned upon me. Then I just said, okay, fine, I won't do it. I'm not going to do it. I stopped, all right? So I just called it off. It's like, all right, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to go and talk about the cancel shit no more. So by then, I already started the campaign, right? I started the campaign, and I do believe I canceled the campaign. It's over with. I'm not updating, not doing nothing, right? But one of my emails came back the other day. It's an investigation email for Larry. You know, and I was like, oh, well. I said, oh, well, really? Well, I was like, I didn't say nothing. I think I responded to it once, but like I said, all this happened before I went on that show, on the King Stream show, and I never told them that I got a response for them, you know. Because after I cut off the show, the next day the response came. So yesterday, what it was, I forgot what it was. I think it was on top Frog Tony show. This little motherfucker, mad as hell. He went on Tony's show, mad as hell, talking hella shit. It was so funny because the dude was dying. I mean, he's literally dying inside. I mean, he doesn't have nothing. So today, I guess this was like within the last 24 hours. You know, now we're here. Last 24 hours, I checked his campaign. I just checked his campaign before I came on here, and his campaign raised about $15,000. Right? That translated to roughly $10 American, $10,000 American. So he's just made enough money to cover some of his expenses. Some of them. I don't know if all of them, but at least some of his expenses are covered. So does that mean some of his books are going to come on time? I don't know, but like he set his bar at $5,000, which is stupid. He should have set the bar for that book. That book, you know, he did some work on that book to get it produced. You know, the covers and all that, the specialty covers, all the shit and all the swag and all the digital content he made for that. You know, he put some work into this campaign only to get just enough money to pay what he put into it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if Larry gonna get his books out in time. I mean, he may get a couple of books out to some of the people, but it better be flawless. You better not make no mistakes in getting people their shit. You know, because that little amount of money, it's not going. I mean, people not accounting for the price is going to take the ship, and due to the fact that his books, if anybody on this side of the line is ordering his books from Canada, you know, they're going to have to pay. Don't forget, there's a tariff war going on. So anything that comes from over there is going to get taxed. Anything, everything. And I don't think he factored that into that's got to be factored into $10,000. So good luck, Larry. So Larry today says, and I do believe this was taken from Facebook. You know how I know it's taken from Facebook? Because of these three little things right here. So he's over on Facebook crying about his books not being as successful as he runs around the internet exclaiming. So his books aren't successful. And here he is finally, I guess, getting a dose of reality, saying, what is the future of Niobe? I don't know. The Kickstarters are not reaching the numbers I need to reach to really make a run of it. I want to finish Niobe Outbreak, the miniseries, in Savage Sins 3, and that's even if I can afford it. Yes, folks. See, karma always comes back to get little trolls like this in the end. This is what karma is all about, folks. And I'm not sure I can. This may well be my very last year. I hope it is. I hope you find something to do. You know, I heard Burger King is hiring. You might be able. I don't know. No, it's called. What's their big franchise? I think it's Horton something. Yeah, you can go there. You can work the fryer. Makes it. They make some really good sausages. They got some. I've been up to Canada. I've stopped at the Hortons. They got some really good, like sausage and pancakes. They got some real good shit like that. He can work there. You know, once again, he's one of those guys who lives with his mom. You know, everybody knows I have, for some reason, have found a way to attract all of the crazies who live with their parents. 50-plus-year-old, they get 50-plus-year-olds that live with their fucking parents. I mean, it seems like that's only people that really pay me attention are grown-ass men who still with their parents who like to troll at the rightful age of 50-something. You know, I don't get this shit. You know, why? Why, God? Why have you possessed me with this ability to call up hordes of these fucking losers? Why is one gun stealing my content? I'm starting to change that. Cancel me. I don't care. Good luck. Comic book, normally I wouldn't care about Larry, but he has purposely shit on me and the community that back to my character. Yeah, people don't understand. Like, yeah, I mean, people in this community, in the indie comic community, especially people over there in the Comicsgate part, they do take care of their own. I give that to them, you know. The thing about it is, when you go to this community, the best thing you can do is try to go over there and be as positive as you can, because like I said, there's a lot of stupid traps over there. You got to avoid them. But it makes no sense to sit over there. If Larry really wanted his book to sell, he would have came over to his community, you know, told the community what he do and don't like, but supported people in the community. You can come over here and tell this community what you do and don't like, but you still got to come over here and support the people, because you want these people to listen to you. I bet you if he wasn't such a dick, I bet you his book would be doing better, because more people would have came and bought his book. Even his buddy, Tyler C. World, that's his buddy. Can't stand the motherfucker. Well, what's with these 50 years? Yeah, well, what's the deal with them, you know? And that's the problem. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of these guys, you know. And he's not the only one. There's many more. There's another guy, you know. And this guy comes after me for I don't know. He'll always say something about me. You know, I don't even know the dude, that boy. All I just know is about his police record. That's all I know about him. You know, I tried to talk to him once, try to reason with him once, but I was able to reason with two of his buddies. You know, well, I had a problem with his buddy, but I think we're past it. But there's one guy, you know, he keeps. I'll be minding my own business, and he'll just pop out of nowhere and say something incredibly stupid, and then I'll have to get up and like say, "Oh, really? Well, you know." Like, really? I'm gonna send this by the dude, because I'm just gonna go talk about him, because he's the Voldemort of this channel, you know, by the way, folks. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say about Larry. You know, he's getting his comeuppance. You know, if he would have came over here and been a little bit nicer, you know, if he had a grievance about being canceled because he knew people at Comicsgate, and the thing about it is that we went into, I think it's on the Stimulate Cynic, found out why he was really canceled, because he keeps on portraying this lie about how he got canceled. The Grinch didn't steal Christmas, he stole presents. So quasi. Yeah, so I got a couple of more minutes for this segment, folks, and then I'm finished, and then I'm gonna be back over here working on some stuff, you know. But I just wanted to get this segment out the way and start this week, because I don't want to do another one. I don't want to sit back and waste my time and make a whole one talk video or whatever. I actually want to get on here and do a little animation and some touch-up work on some scenes. So I just want to finish off this. I think this Larry saga is finished, you know, because he actually admitted defeat today. I think he's learned a lesson, and the lesson is don't sit back and do this to people, you know, because this shit came back at him tenfold, because he came, like I say, from the time he came over here and I met him to now, ain't nothing but bad shit has happened to him. Nothing but bad shit has happened to him, and he's only getting what he dished out. If he would have came over here and respected the creators, respected the artists, he didn't have to respect the community that much. You know, he just should have like found some people over here that he can talk to, reason with, and be friends with. You know, I think people from this community would have supported him. And the whole fact that he's saying he got canceled because he knew people at Comicsgate is a false lie, because he got canceled for something that had nothing to do with anybody, any shape or form over here at Comicsgate. Nothing. Nobody. You know. Oh, I found out so much about Cat Food Larry. Oh, you did? Oh, you're still working with Blender? Yeah, Autumn, I'm still working with Blender. Matter of fact, Autumn, I did this in Blender. I did this in Blender last night. I was playing around with Blender. I was trying to figure out how to use the cameras and stuff. I actually made my own camera rig, so I know Quasi would be happy that I did this. But this is what I made, you know. And I'm thinking I want to do some more stuff. Like the characters need their own idle animations and stuff like that. So definitely gonna use Blender for that, because this looks real close to. This looks really close. Let me give y'all a better video of it. So this is what I made. But this looks real close to what I would get out of Unreal Engine, for real. You know, this looks real close. So, like I said, this is like an animation demo. I did the facial animation all by hand, and looked pretty good. Okay, I can't wait to get some do the mocap version, do like motion capture of his face and everything. I want to try that maybe today, maybe during the stream, maybe, I don't know. But yeah. So the reason why he got canceled, you know, and like I said, Stephen A. Cynic found this shit out, you know. Yeah, there is what you say, comic books. So many tards get mad at EVS for clout, and backers who also hate EVS while complaining. EVS is such a big presence in the space. Yeah, EVS is a big presence, but I think some of these people who act like Larry, who want to say that EVS is he said EVS is the real bad guy. I mean, not really. You know, if you take EVS out the equation, right? You know, because I know in Moral Rising and a couple other guys over there, they're doing pretty good with their. If you just focus on the people other than EVS, people who are making books, these are good people. All right, these are really good guys. You know, Moral Rising, Apex Comics, John Sitka, a lot of those guys, you know, deserve something a little bit better than what they're getting right now. They need to be. When people talk about comics, they should include these guys when they talk about comics, because these guys deserve that type of respect. You know, Richard Embry, a lot of these guys, you know, a lot of small creators doing books. They're not making that much money, but they're out there in the community and they're supporting other people. Those are the people that need to be talked about. Those are the people that when you do a show, you know, they should be talked about first, then Eric July the very last. You know. That's my only beef with the community, is that they focus too much on the nobodies like Eric July and other bullshit, you know, then sit back and talk about like the other creators, other smaller creators out there. You know, I want to make a space for those guys. Those guys need to be talked about, and they deserve their respect. They need to be acknowledged, because they could have just stop. They could just stop what they're doing and just say, no, fuck this place. But they keep coming back. They keep coming back because this community is so good over here, you know, and their stuff fit in this space, you know. And if Larry would understand that, I think his book would do better than what it was. Larry would probably be doing very good right now if he wasn't going around, not just in the Comicsgate scene, but I'm talking about the whole indie comic scene, period, and stop fucking with people the way he's doing. You know, he is the downfall of his own shit. There's no. Yeah. So folks, I think that the ends. I mean, I think this whole Larry story arc is done with. It's over. You know, because now it's like he knows what the future is now. You know. Now I don't know if he posted this. Now, like I say, he posted this on Twitter. I mean, he posted this on Facebook. So he'll never say this on Twitter. This is an admission of defeat. Now, I know over there on Facebook, he has a more real type of following. And this is him coming out to the few people that follow him saying, you know what, folks, I don't think this shit working. I ain't getting the numbers on my books no more, so I won't be selling it. You're like, well, that's on you, bro. That's on you. You know, he's ran out of money, you know, and he says right here, you can't afford it no more. So that means you're broke. You're broke, bro. You know. Disappeared. Oh yeah, well, one more thing before I finish the segment off, is what I had to say. It said, hey, at Indie Comics Jones, well, he has to make over at least $15K to see any type of profit. He spent a lot of money to make this disastrous book. And if you see the book, you know he spent more than $5,000 to make this book. Yeah, I know for a fact he spent more than $5,000 to make that book. He has only made $11,000 on his book. Now that's before I wrote this before I saw how much the book is he made right now. Right? So if you go to his Kickstarter, it's like $15,000 Canadian, right? And I actually went to Google. I just typed in, what's the conversion? So $15,000 Canadian goes down to $10,000. So he still hasn't made any profit off this book. Everything he's making on this book is going to go into the actual production of the book. So he's not going to walk away with much. In order for him to walk away with something, this book has to reach at least over 15 to 18, 20 grand. That's why when you look at the book, like, hey, you've made, like, that's why when you look at his books, like, you got to think about it. That $20,000 that he made on his books in the past, you got to look at it like this. That's Canadian money. That's in Canadian. That's not American dollars, right? The same value American dollar holds up over in Canada. Matter of fact, the value of American dollar is more than what is the Canadian. So you have to subtract how much money that his campaigns are making, and it's less, right? The American money at $20,000 is probably around 17, 16, maybe close to $15,000. And then you got to talk about taxes, and then on top of that, they're getting tariffed right now. So he has to pull in more money. He has to charge more for his book. So good luck, Larry. Good luck. So then I put in there like that will never ever come out. He only has made $11K on this book that would never ever cover the price of shipping, printing. Don't forget all the extras that comes from the tiers of the comic book and out to the low. Now he is ready to give up. Like Ethan Van Scriber said, and Ethan Van Scriber did say this in the post I made. He said that the market has a way to deal with these guys. And the market has dealt with Larry. We just had to wait for it to happen. The market has always been dealing with Larry for like the past few months. Everything that he's said is great in the marketplace. He has significantly got canned at each point. Diamond, Antarctic Press, even his eBay store. His eBay store has only sold like 30-something items out of the store, and that's part of the store. Other part of the store is selling his comic book collection. So he's selling his comic book collection. He has to sell his comic book collection to make his ends meet, because the comic book that he's actually making, that he has boxes and boxes of sitting inside of his house, aren't going nowhere. So there you have it, folks. So the thing about Larry is that the market has spoken about Cat Food Larry months ago. Change, stop being a fool, or fade away to the graveyard of obscurity, the comic book graveyard of obscurity. So there you have it, folks. Only Canadian concern of money. He posted. Yeah, I know he posted on Facebook. I said this had to come from Facebook. This had to come from Facebook. This is something he said on Facebook. Because like I said, he wouldn't say it over here. He wouldn't say it on Twitter. He went over there to Facebook and his little community and posted it, thinking that nobody over there is over there fronting to be somebody that likes him and posting anything about him. Wait till the folks at Twitter find this out. Yeah, they found out, Larry. We found out that, like I said, Stimulated had posted this within the last 24 hours. So I don't know when this was posted, but it was 5 hours prior to this. So this is when the snapshot was taken. So yeah, it's about 20, getting close to 24 hours since it was posted. And I haven't heard a word from Larry since. So if I come over here and to Rebel Comics, nothing. I mean, 25th, 24th, nothing. 23rd, nothing about him. Here's his list. Nothing. He hasn't posted nothing. He's somewhere crying. He's somewhere probably crying it off, folks. So there it is, folks. So the lesson of the story is, don't be a jackass. Don't be a jackdick. To people. Be nice to people. Try to be humble. And don't sit back and try to tell people what they're doing is wrong when what you're doing is just ass backwards. That's not getting nobody nowhere. So there it is, folks. So let's get on with the rest of the show. Thank you guys who stuck around for that, but I just had to say something about that because that shit was hilarious. It was hilarious. It's been hilarious ever since he got on Ethan's show telling Ethan and Liam that he's in it for the long game, and Ethan in return says, Ethan and Liam say, well, like, how old are you? I'm 50, man. So they all of them the same age, and then Ethan and Liam like, yeah, we want to be millionaires before we're 80. Yeah, we want to be millionaires now. He's the only one out the group of three who's still playing the long game. As you can see, the long game has failed him. It has totally failed him. So anyway, folks, let's shift over. Let's shift over to something else. Let's shift over to something a little bit more positive here. I just had to get that out of my way. I mean, I wanted to make another. I say, I gotta stream. It's Friday stream. Let's make the super Friday stream. Let's do a little something of everything. Let's do a little animation. Let's do a little demo work. Let's do maybe I'll work on some comic book pages today. Maybe I'll do just like a big ass stream where I'm doing a variety of shit today because I haven't done a variety of shit in a while. You know, let's see. So I wanted to get in Blender, and I wanted to make a scene in Blender. I've tried this in the past, and I was never able to get the type of response that I wanted out the camera. So I had to do some searching about how to get the camera to do what I wanted to do. Only thing I want the camera to do, right? I want the camera to focus in on the object, on the subject. So I'm gonna go grab the camera. I want the camera to always, no matter where I move this camera, I want the camera to always be focused on the character. Now I can do this in iClone and Unreal Engine real easy. I just can't do it over here, you know. And I knew it was a trick to get it done. And what it is that you have to make a camera rig. Camera rig consists of a focal point and I forgot this all. Called the FT. What's the FT point? Okay, so this is the I forgot, but the focal point. Let's just focus on that. The focal point is important. Target, yeah, focal point and focal target. All right, so I didn't. When you get these cameras, when these cameras come in, they don't have any of these things. They don't have a camera where it has a focal parent. Focal point and a focal target. You know that the cameras aren't like that. You know, the cameras just come in and you grab it like this. You hit G, you grab it like that, and you just move the sucker around to wherever you want it. You know, where you want it to be. You know, that's how these cameras work. It does, like, if you come into the camera properties, I do believe you come down here to camera properties, you can probably click on a couple of things like limits and names. And limit is basically, yeah, you see how I'm clicking it, and it has this little thing right here. But it will not, how can I put this? It will not, like, stay on the character. Like I got the character right now, it won't stay there. So if I hit grab, you know, move this around. And this is for, I'm doing this because for people who don't who were like me, who didn't understand how this shit worked. But as you can see, I can move the camera and the camera stays on the character. That's because I had to make a I think it's this one. No, it's this one. No, this is for the focus, right? So this is the focus. This is for the focus. So if I grab this, if you look over here, right here, if I grab this and I move it, you can see he's getting a focal point. You see he's getting focused on, right? Focus, out of focus, focus. So that's handy. That's real handy. Now this, the focal target, if I grab this, I can move this, and the camera's always, see how the camera's following it? The camera's always going to follow, right? And that's what I was looking for. That's what I wanted. And with this, I could do some cool shit. Now that I know how to do it, I can do space scenes. I can do space Star Wars. Like, I could do like real cool Star Wars, like space fighting scenes. I can rig this camera to a spline and have it move on the spline while still focusing on the character. I could do a lot of shit with this new rig setup, you know, that I learned about because, you know, I didn't know this shit. I mean, like I said, I only use Blender to model and fix models and all type of shit. Quasi with the pointers. Yeah, I make a target for depth of field. There is an autofocus add-on, but I don't like it. Yeah, I was gonna get that. I didn't know if I was gonna get it or not. Quasi also says my suggestion is to put the model into its rest pose and add an empty and constraint to the model to the model's head or body, and then in depth of field. In the camera settings, you can keep the focus on the model. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll write that down. Thank you, Quasi. Yeah, and so I'm getting that much closer to calling up Quasi and say, hey, Quasi, okay, man, I done figured out Blender. Let's go. You know? Man, get me on the live so I can... I'm not set up. Dude, I'm not set up for... I'm not set up for that yet. I'm not set up. I didn't set up today. Today, I'm going through OBS only, because this is just gonna be a demo and talk stream, you know. But Saturday, I can do a Super Saturday. Yeah, I do a Super Saturday with you guys again. I bring you and the guys back on Saturday, and we can do a Super Saturday stream, and we can just hang out. I'm gonna probably be up early, but I'll probably be up for quite a while because, like I said, I'm trying to bring my. You guys have spoken, wanted me to be more on my channel than everybody else's channel, because people said it was hard to find me or hard to see me and shit like that. So. And it was like, you need to be on your channel. We're gonna watch you on your channel. I was like, okay, fine. I'll cut down some of my appearances on other people's channel, you know. And since I started doing that, man, actually my views, my subscribers have a lot of them have come back. You know, a lot of my subscribers come back. It ain't a lot. I mean, we make a couple hundred subscribers come back. You know, since I started doing this shit. But yeah, I used the sphere empty, and I used the child of constraint to the head, and I scale it to just bigger than the head. Oh, ooh, I didn't know you can. All right. Actually, I want to change. I don't like the sphere. I don't like the sphere's constraint. Focal So. I'm gonna have to actually get into you about this tomorrow but so I can have no, I can't. I don't think I can have more than one focal point because it only allows me to have one on the camera. If I go to camera, it only allows me to have one at a time. So what it is with the camera is that I got this I guess constrained. No, that's not constraints though, but I guess I could. I think this is my constraint right here. Or this one. It's one of these. It's one of these. I don't know what it is, but I know I got a constraint. Hold on. On one of these things, I got a constraint somewhere. I can't find it. It's somewhere. Like I said, I just learned this shit last night, man. I was just only playing. But like I said, the end result was pretty cool. I was able to come in. I was able to render it out. Actually, this is pretty clean for a PNG. You know, this looks really nice for a PNG. Render. I mean, I was gonna do an EXR, you know, so I can have those different levels of compositing, but I think just rendering out here just a regular PNG is fine. You know, the light setup came from the character creator. It's the neon thing from character creator. But I got some really good images out of this, man. Really good. So next thing to do is like do an action scene now, using multiple cameras. You could probably talk to me about how to switch the cameras around, how to do camera switch like I do in like Unreal Engine and Iclone. You know, they got camera switcher. I mean, I need to stop using camera switcher because I think Ben had a good point about using camera switch. Just do shot by shot and render out the shot by shot. But don't forget, Ben's working off of 2080, which makes sense. You know, so for him to make the stuff that he's making. He's doing smaller shots to compensate for his graphics card, I believe. I have a bigger graphics card than him, you know, so I don't have to take those type of risks. You know, I can actually my card is new. My card is like maybe like going on 2 years old now, but my graphics card is kind of new. You know, it's within the last couple of years. So my card is a 16 gigabyte card. You know, it's really good. You know, it's an AMD card. It's not. I wish I had an Nvidia card, but Nvidia card's just too expensive right now. Quasi yelling at the top of his mouth. My suggestion to man, get me on this now. Okay, but yeah, I used the sphere empty. Read that and rename it focal character name. Focal point or depth, not for position. Your present setup is great to keep the camera where you want it. In the timeline or action editor, you can place your mouse arrow at the bottom of the timeline area and click Control B. It will. Oh. So I can do that. So right here, hit Control B. Oh shit! It does. Oh, so that's how you do the camera switch. And I can just like, okay, do that, and I can hit Control B again. Oh, hold on. Hit Control B again, and then, oh, that's how you do it. Oh. So I can do camera switch. Oh, shit. Thanks, brother. Oh, shit. It's old man Ben. It's old man Tuttle. Tuttle, you coming up tomorrow? I'm going to do a big super Saturday stream tomorrow. You coming? I'm doing a big Super Saturday stream. I'm gonna bring Jet back on. Hopefully all the other guys will come on. Hopefully you guys got some shit done. Dude, you know what? If that's the case, man, you know, I could probably start pulling my weight on the Last Dragon again. You know that, right? If that's the case, if it's that easy, I could probably start pulling my weight on Last Dragon again. We could probably I see the 100%. I could probably start pulling my weight again, man. I might be able to do it. That depends on if I can be a part of the quasi-media production. Ain't mad at that. I probably can. But yeah, but like I said, folks, this was just me playing around. Now, the animation, if I can find it. I actually did a, crap, where is it? Yeah. Alright, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So I actually did a video. I actually did a video, folks, of how I did it. This is the render version. So I actually did a video of how I did it. I'm not doing no commentary over it because I'll do a commentary. The commentary over this will come second, you know. But I do have a recording of this. Yeah, it's from Character Creator. So this is basically what I did, folks. First things first, I had to fix his I had to fix his pose. All right, this looks really good. That looks real good. I had to fix his pose first. So I went in. I used AccuPose. Now the reason why I'm using AccuPose is because I'm trying to get better with it, for one. And the thing about AccuPose is that I can get better poses out of AccuPose than using the edit pose layer. The edit pose layer is there for I use the edit pose layer like this. I use it for finer details because I have a lot more control in edit pose layer than I do in AccuPose. So some of the things that AccuPose don't do good, I do it with the edit motion layer. So I'm using both of these at the same time. But for this, the only thing I wanted to do was mess with his left arm because he has like a little satchel on his left leg, and his hand kept on going through the satchel. So the problem was that his arm had to be moved forward and just out just a little bit. So the whole clavicle had to move forward, and his hand had to come down a little bit, you know, and forward. So that's what I'm doing here. That fixed the problem with the clipping through the little satchel on his left leg. So that's what I did. And I used AccuPose for the whole thing, and it went pretty well. So I think I spent like, now this is sped up. I spent like an hour doing this, you know, because I'm rusty for one, and because I'm still trying to get familiar with AccuPose, which is pretty good. Yeah. It's a real good shot, you know. So I didn't do no camera work. Usually I would do my camera work over here, but I didn't this time. I didn't bother doing my camera work over here. What I did is I was like, I'm just going to just straight up make the best pose I can. Now, I'm going to drawback about not using a camera when you're trying to make an animation to go into another program is that you are going to work on the whole figure instead of just the part of the figure that's important to the story. That's why I set up all my cameras when I'm doing my animation inside of Iclone before I go out to Unreal Engine, is because I want to make sure whenever I'm animating from the point of view where I'm going to put the cameras at, it's going to look right. If the feet are sliding around and the camera ain't going to catch it, I'm not going to worry about it. If one of his arms are all janked up or something and the camera's not going to catch it, I'm not going to worry about it. But when you do it like this, you're going to spend more time instead of setting. So you should always set up your cameras and your shots in the program, in this program, because you're going to know what needs to be done and how the shot's going to have to be done when you take it over to Unreal Engine or Blender or whatever. But in this case, I didn't care. I was just going to do the whole pose. I was just going to just work on the whole pose and get it right. And one thing I always hated about these poses is, especially these poses, when you have the gun in that hand right there, in the left hand, when the gun is like that, when he's holding the gun like that, you get some deformity in the arm. And the only way to fix that arm is to go through the IK, which is the elbow, shoulder, and the hand, and move that. See how Acupose is messing up the neck here? It's hold up. Let me show you what the problem was. So I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention here to how I was posing this out, and what happened is that Acupose got me, and it kind of screwed up his neck right here. So I knew it was in one of these poses, and I didn't really care because I already got the I already have the constraint set up. So I put a constraint on his arm. Oops. Let me see where I think it's, where is it? I put a constraint on his arm. Yeah, here it is. So right here, I put a constraint on his hand, and I animated that constraint so that as soon as that gun gets in his hand, it's going to be stuck there. His hand's going to be stuck, and the IK from the hand to the gun will control this arm, right? And I was able to pull it off. So the gun has no, IK here, right? Because the IK don't get activated until about right here. Well, I think I did it. Hold on. Right here. So right here on frame 634, that's when it activates. And once it gets activated, that hand's going to be stuck there. The hand's not going to move nowhere. It's going to stay there. And once that hand is there, then I can go back, and I went back and after I saw this head messed up like that, I went back and I deleted these keyframes. So I know one of these keyframes, but it's all good because I have the as you can see, his hand is fucked up there and everything. So once I got rid of these keys right here, you're gonna see me do it in a minute, everything like kind of corrected itself, right? And then all I had to do was just repose, come back and repose his arm on the last keyframe. So I'm reposing his arm to where it looks normal, and I'm trying to explain this. I'm gonna let the reach target and the other poses take and fix this, because now all I gotta do is just come back. I do believe delete these three or this one, but that's gonna fix his neck. So let's go and watch what I did. So I knew his neck was janky. I tried to fix it. It wasn't gonna work. So I deleted those poses. I'm gonna delete all those poses, and once I did that, it's fixed. So once I got the gun reach target on the gun corrected, everything just was okay. Everything got fixed. So next thing I did, like once I got the pose and all the animation done, I went back and I started adding facial animation. Now I used the digital soul. Yeah. Well, yeah, you do all lights. See, man, that's the thing about you. You can do that because you know film. You know how to powerhouse do it. I don't. You know, I'm still learning. So what I did here is I was doing the facial animation because his face got facial animation, and I was using the digital soul, and I was getting some nice gestures out of it, but I wasn't getting what I wanted. So I tried to layer on some additional facial poses on top of what I had, and I was getting to a point that I didn't like it. I wasn't liking it, and something happened to where the face, I don't know what it was, but it just stopped working. You know, I never found out why. So I went back and deleted that, and I just went ahead and just started adding the facial poses one by one. When you do this, make sure you click this little thing. Oh, hold on. Make sure you. I'm keep on thinking I'm inside the program. you want to click this. This is necessary because what it does is it extends this little box here, and it contains all of your keyframe data. You know, so it makes a little box and it holds like keyframe data. Now every time you make a keyframe, it's gonna be added to this box. When you cut this off, the keyframe will probably be by itself, and the next one you connect is gonna be by itself. So it's not gonna be in a box. It's gonna be separate. But I suggest you cut this on. If you're doing any type of work or whatever, I suggest you keep this on. Therefore, you'll have just one clip and have all your facial animation. And with the data, you can just move these and slide these around. You can go inside of them and tweak them. And you actually would like click on here and come over here and adjust expressions and add expressions to it. And then you can go to the muscles and do whatever you need to. But in this case, I just went ahead by hand and just added each facial gesture. Yeah, that's why I mean for Quasi says, yeah, that's what I mean for the workflow to Blender the same way. So yeah, he'll get it, meaning one good. I'll get it one day. Quasi also says I use iClone to do facial animation and then animate the rest of the model in Blender. That's me. That's a good way to do it. Notes. Olive says, Ben comes back and says, cranes and dollies. Yes, cranes and dollies. I know how to make a dolly now. I know how to make a dolly and a crane inside of Blender now. Blender has a dolly camera. It's amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I make one. I would make one because making one is a lot more fun because I can actually customize the way it works. That's my whole thing. Is that Blender is really good. Oh, let me stop this. I'm doing some stuff I need to explain. Blender is really good at a lot of shit. You know, Blender. I like Blender because you can customize almost all the fucking tools in it. If a tool is there and it works and you like it, but you would like to make it more efficient in your workflow, you can go in, take that tool, and mess with it. Add stuff to it. Write Python script for it to do different stuff. You can do a lot of stuff, and Blender has become the most customizable tool for animation that I've ever seen. It's even better at. It's more geared towards the artist. You know, it's very geared to the artist. It's very good in sense of what you can do. Now, like I said, I never went in Blender to use it as an output for any type of animation I'm doing. And I always used it to fix stuff like models, make models, and stuff like that. I never cared too much about the animation side because I always felt like it was too overly complicated for no reason. But the reason for the overcomplication is because of the way you're supposed to work with it versus the way you work with everything else, because Blender is definitely built different. It's a 3D software, but it's definitely built different. You know, it's built in some ways better than Maya and Max. Quasi Media says, yeah, making one makes sense for a specific reason. I make stuff all the time. Yeah. And that's the best thing about it. And it costs you $0. $0. And if you make something really good that's useful, you can take it to the Blender market and sell it, you know. But let's get back to this real quick. So I'm over here playing around. As you can see, I'm actually adjusting his facial features to make him look more like gruntish. You know, I want to make a little more gruntish, like he's serious or whatever. So take his eyes, and as you see, I highlighted his eyes over here. And I shifted his eyes while his head is looking down. I took his eyes and shifted them upwards. Therefore, you got that look of him like looking at you like, what you say? You know, that tilted head, look up. So yeah. So I had better results coming in here and by hand adding the poses and tweaking them, because everything in here is pose to pose. It's basically pose to pose. And you're just tweaking everything in the face. I'm doing the pass with the eyes. I'm doing the pass with the head. I'm doing the pass with the mouth. I'm doing the pass with his brows. I'm doing a pass, each pass. So each pass, like I think these main keys here, that's like the first pass, and the second pass are like these keys right here in between these. So and when you're doing like passes and stuff, that's how your shit should look. Like you got your main keys, right, and then you got your secondary animation, which is basically a secondary animation, but you add these little keys here, eyebrows, eyeballs, and stuff like that. So you'll see, and the results speak for themselves. Oh shit, I keep on hitting the wrong thing. That's what it's weird. So yeah, so I'm coming in here and I'm adding more stuff. I think I adjusted something else too. I didn't see what it was. But yeah, I got him like when he looks to the side, like if you see what I'm trying to do here. when he looks to the side, I want his eyes, like every time when a character looks to, if you got a character that's going to be looking, what you do is you move the eyes first. The eyes have to move and then followed by the head movement, and that's what I was trying to aim for in this. So right now he just looked at it like a blank stare, and I'm like, well, try to get this right, So, getting the mouth right, I'm tweaking everything. I'm making sure those main keys are getting in there before. No, actually, I'm adding the secondary keys. So now I'm working with the eyes, getting the eyes to shift around in his face to make him more human, make him more human-like. You know, I could have added some more blinks to him. Well, I think I did in a way. I could have just turned it on auto blink, but I don't think auto blink would have worked in this case. Also, I tilted his head back. So when he goes to throw his gun over his shoulder, I made sure that I tilted his head back. So I tilted his head back and I made his eyes go down, because if your eyes are focused on something, they're gonna stay in a position. So if your head tilt back, your eyes are still gonna be looking at that. You know, so that's what I was doing at that part right there. So you see me working on him, we'll put a frown on him. What else I'm doing? I'm doing something in the motion layer. I'm messing with something. I think I found something to mess with it. Messing with his eyebrows, and you're gonna see me like start messing with his head. Now I don't suggest people coming in here into the in the face key and adjusting the head. That's not good, because what happens is if you start animating the head again, unless you baked everything down, what'll happen is that any key that you do here is going to conflict with any key that you have on the motion layer. So you have the motion layer, then you have the expressions layer, and the expression layer holds the animation from this. The edit motion layer holds the animation from the whole total rig. All right, and sometimes, and I learned that the hard way, if you play with this and then go back to the actual edit motion layer rig and you mess with the head too, you're gonna have some undesirable shit happening, like heads start popping and twisting and stuff like that, and you be trying to figure out what the fuck did I do. And it's like, oh, so if you're gonna use this, right? If you're gonna use this, any animation that you have on your figure in the edit motion layer, before you come in here, make sure you bake it all down, right? So the thing is to get your main animation done. You know, after you're done with the total rig of the body, then you want to bake everything down. Then come back over here. If you plan on doing facial animation or fixing the facial animation, you want to come back over here to this to the face key and then play around in that, because anything you do over here is going to somewhat ways override anything that you've done to the head over here. So I'm just saying, but like I said, it's a give and take, because sometimes you'll do stuff after you bake the animation in. Sometimes you'll do stuff over here and it will conflict with the stuff you already done and baked in, and you just gotta be careful of what you do, because you will get messed up messing with this and then messing with the total rig. So the total rig is the head, neck, and the rest of the body. The partial rig is what you're working on right here. Is just for the head and muscles, like for the head and eyebrows, lips, you know, and most of it's like morph related shit. But as for the head tilting and turning and the position of the head, that's all has to do with like the first, like the head, the neck one, and neck two. It'll only go to those three. And usually in the full rig, you really don't, unless you're using the FK system, the FK, you don't really have to worry about the neck and neck two, because you won't be touching that if you go to the full body rig in the motion layer. But it gets real complicated, because like this is like a thinking man's game, because you got to think about what you're gonna do before you do it. That's why I always, like, when I do something, like I'm gonna go to the part of body work, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I always stop and pause for a minute, make sure whatever I'm doing won't conflict with what I've just done. And then if I do it, and when I'm saying I'm done, I go back and shit's not looking right, well, you know, it's because I wasn't being careful. Let's get past this. So, yeah, so I got him looking. No, right now he's just looking. So now you see I'm messing with his eyes. Got his eyes shifting. Now I want his eyes to like shift first, going one direction, then shift first, going back the other direction. So now I'm messing with, so now you see I'm tilting his head. You see I got his eyes coming down too. Like somebody's like looking at something. Like he's looking at the camera, looking at us. And I got his head going back down again with his pupils rolling up towards us. Making one of the, Blender has $1. Yeah, making one makes sense for some reason. I make stuff all the time. Yeah. Autumn Harvest says, you're getting up there, man. I haven't watched anything about Blender in a while. I need to get back into it ways. There's a couple of projects I want to do. It, girl. Do it. Open up Blender. Have fun. Get into it. So, yeah. So, I messed around with this. Like, I really wanted to, like, I was like, I'm going to go into Blender and play around. I'm going to make sure I bring in something that looks really good, you know. So, I'm still tweaking it. I'm playing around with the eyebrows, you know, to put some variations in the eyebrows. I don't want eyebrows all the way down all the time. So I go back to the beginning keyframe and I work myself forward and I find out key places that I want this to happen at. Now I'm in Blender. So let me go back here. So what I did, I went back and I baked everything down. So I baked all the keyframes down and stuff. I think I do it in here somewhere. Well, I probably went over, but yeah, I went over it. I went ahead and I just baked everything in, and then I was ready for Unreal Engine. I mean, not Unreal Engine. I was ready for iClone. I mean, damn, Blender. I was ready for Blender. So yeah, so I'm doing my final tweaks. So I'll say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to do it. So let's do it. So let's get into Blender and let's mess around. Let's do the thing I should have did years ago. So everything's baked down. I'm doing my final checks, and I'm ready to go. Yeah, it looks cool. So there, as I just launched it. So I deleted the box. So there my character is. He's filing into Blender. Just do it, Autumn. Quasi tells Autumn, just do it, Autumn. I'll tell you like I tell my few students, just make stuff. There is no right or wrong. Yes, do it. That's good philosophy. So what I do is I delete everything out. I make a collection. I save it, and I call this character files that I'm going to append. So I'm going to append that file. I'm going to close up. I think I'm going to close up everything. So I'm going to take that file. Now right here, I'm going to show you in a minute. All right, so I'm saving this. I bought them in. I deleted all the lights and stuff, right? Got rid of all that shit. And now what I'm doing is I'm saving this character out because I'm going to append it in the next in another scene. So I'm going to append it. So there we go. So now here's the character, and so now I open up Blender, and what I did with Blender is, so this is a scene I created. As you can see in this scene, I have my my rigged camera, the camera I've already rigged. I have my viewer right here, so I have everything set up for my scene. I just need to bring the character in. So I'll bring the character. I'll go ahead. I go back out and import. I append. Now remember, folks, if you're trying to bring something from another scene into this scene, you have to use append. Right? So I use the append. I find my character, and I bring him in. Hide the rig, and he's ready to go. So now what I'm gonna do is just position the camera, and that's the coolest thing about this camera. I got all rigged up is that now I can control it better. I mean, that's the one thing I hated, that I couldn't control this camera for shit. I couldn't get the focus on nothing, but then I had to learn about all these constraints and camera constraints and making your own camera from the beginning. So this is what it looked like at first. You know, I was laying in keyframes, and I forgot how to lay in keyframes. I forgot how to do a lot of stuff, folks. I had to come in here and say, like, okay, I just did this stuff today with Quasi. How do I lay a keyframe in? Oh, how do I drop the frames? How do I lay this out? You know, I had to go back to everything Quasi told me last week or so. I remembered it. You could link the models, but you'll have to override it. But I just append them all. So I mean, appending seems to work just fine. You know, I had no problems with it. Everything came in. Had no problem with the textures. Everything was fine. Everything was okay. I think the textures on the gun are a little iffy. But I'll go back and look at that. It might be like an issue with the normals of why it's looking like it. It should. Well, it could be. I don't think it's. Oh, hold up. Pause for a minute. I don't think it's that. Hold up. I think the gun looks fine. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the? This is Photoshopped. Did it close? I guess it must have closed it. I guess it must have closed After Effects. But I think it's because this is a material view and it's like it's not a cycle. It's not a render. It's not rendered. You know. So. But I did play around with cycles, and this looks real good in cycles, man. This looks really good in cycles. So now I got the material. This is just the material view. This is not a rendered view. I do go in here and I change. I don't know if I recorded myself doing it, but I do go in here and change the rendering. Yeah, I'm playing with the camera, so I'm learning how to use the controls, how to play around with the aspect ratios and stuff like that, and playing around. So the thing is to get myself into to actually like naturally using the cameras like I do in iClone inside of Unreal Engine. You know, actually the cameras inside of Unreal Engine and iClone work about the fucking same. It's just like Blender works totally different. You know, Blender works totally different than any other camera I ever worked with. You know, so I'm keyframing the camera lens, and I'm just getting in here and just playing around, trying to do this stuff instinctually to save me time. And I'm trying to program all these shortcut keys, all this stuff into my head. I mean, that was the reason for this exercise, right? And the reason I'm telling you guys is, like, if you're trying to get into doing this stuff, you should do the same thing. You should just do stupid stuff like this, and just so you can program your brain into knowing what to do, when to do it, what keys, what shortcut keys and stuff like that. Because this is all this is. I'm going to keep on doing shit like this too. You know, even though they might be like, make no sense for me to do these things, but I do these things so I can practice my brain to get into the habit of, like, I'm in this program, this is where this is at, this is this shortcut key, this is this shortcut key. You know, I have to program I have to program myself to do this type of things, or else I'll be having to stop, look it up, and all this other shit. You know, the thing is, I'm going to do one of these projects once a day. I want to do, like I'll say, I'm going to do this project once a day until I get this instilled into my brain. I saw a plug-in where, hold on, sometimes normals look weird without light in the Blender. In Material View, it can be weird. Yeah, it did. It did. But now that I'm seeing it in the Eevee render view, it looks great. It looks fine. Yeah, so here's the render settings. I think I set the settings, but there's a couple settings in here I had to set, you know, to get it to look decent. Yeah, the gun looks fine. Now I look at the gun. I'm looking at the gun now. The gun looks fine, you know. Pause this. Oh. I need to stop doing it. Yeah, now that I look at the gun looks fine. It was just on the material view. It was looking weird. You know, yeah. When it's like when the denoising is going on, it looks weird. As you can see, it looked kind of weird there. But yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine now because it was like looking funky there for a minute, but I didn't know what it was. But yeah, I like his eyes. I like the way I did his eyes. You know, he looks human. He's acting human. You know, he's got all these frowns and shit going on. Like he don't want to be there. You know, he's frowning. Like, what you say? What? We do what? Huh? Oh, I don't get that. What, you want to say it to my face again? What? Really? You too? You want a piece of this? Yeah, what would this dude say over here? Huh? Got something for your ass. Ugh. You know. But, yeah. Let's get back to this real quick. So, I'm still playing around. You know, I'm liking what I see, and I'm going around here doing some other stuff. I'm changing where the image... So, I'm about to render it. So, I'm changing the where it's going to where the renders... now, right here, I had a choice. Like... Oh, hold on. I keep on hitting this thing. That's better. So, all right, right here. So I have a choice to where I'm going to put the put my file, and it's like the output section. There's some other stuff in here that I'm going to be working with too, like things that have to do with denoising and stuff like that. Because I know the denoising has gotten really good. So here, test one guy. All right, so it's asking me like, how do I want to export this out? And they have EXR. They have OpenEXR, multi-layer EXR. I don't know what the other stuff is. Radiance, HD. I don't know what the stuff is, but the only ones I concern myself with is the OpenEXR, the PNG, the JPEG, maybe Targa, because Targa leaves you with a big huge file, but maybe that. But PNG, EXR, and OpenEXR should be the only ones that I'm going to concern myself with. So just let you guys know that the same shit that's over there inside of Unreal Engine, they have it right over here. So, and they also have the options too. Oh, if I use optics, the denoising would be damn good. But that's only if I use so now I set up, now I'm rendering it, and I think I have to render. This is after the render, so which is pretty good. So I'm gonna upload this video to I'm gonna upload that video to YouTube soon, when I get the chance to. But I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing this, man. It was a good exercise. Got me out of my creators rut, and it gave me more possibilities of what I can do with Blender going forward with iClone. You know, if it's like this, I spent a lot of money, a lot of time inside of Unreal Engine. I have a lot of assets. That goes with Unreal Engine and iClone, especially. Now I got Blender, and I'm trying to figure out how can I. Blender is only cost effective is the program itself. It's free. But if I want to like add stuff to it, like sets and scenes and shit like that, that in sometimes most cases is going to run me time and it's going to run me money. You know, time is basically going over to Blender, not Blender, but Daz, or going over to Sketchfab, or going to Unreal Engine and pulling assets from out of there and then bringing them over here to Blender and then taking the time to fix all the textures and all the other stuff. It can be done. It can be done. That's something that you will have to hire a team to do, you know, because doing that shit on your own, take it from me, will take you a long time. It will take you a long time to do it. You know, it's not worth it. You know, next thing is to build my own sets. You know, I can come in here from scratch and build my own sets up. Yeah, there is add-ons. Thing about it is that the add-on that I would use for Daz to Blender, it don't work. They haven't updated the damn thing. You know, I tried it the other day and it does not work. You know, maybe I'm missing something, but I haven't seen nobody do a video on the Daz to Blender bridge in over almost 3 years now. No one has done an update on it. And when you go to their website, they haven't did an update on it. So I'm like, okay, so that means I can't use it. I would have to use an earlier version of Blender, right? So I have to go to Blender, maybe 2 point something or 3 points. I think it's like either late 2 or early 3, where the plugin actually works. Then use it inside of iClone, Daz to actually bring some props. Now, the thing about it is that if you use the Daz to Blender plugin, everything comes over. The props, the lights, the cameras, everything comes over. All the textures are already loaded. Problem is that it doesn't work with this version. I mean, like I said, they haven't updated it. What's it called? Different Morbic and you say works great, but you'll have to follow tutorial to the letter. Is that let me see, I'm about to look it up. I'm about to look it up real quick. I didn't know about this. But if that's the case, well shit, you know, I could probably do a whole scene inside of a. I'm looking for is this it? Is this it? Is this it right here? Diplomatic dash important. Let me see.
Let's pretend this isn't my life. Let's pretend it was a great night. Let's pretend that it was real nice.
See, that's the one thing I fucking hate.
Pretend that it's a movie. Let's pretend that it's a story. Let's pretend that it was glory. 'Cause that's where I do my best work. That's where I see
Look, that's it. So, what is it?
so you just can't get hurt in the imaginary.
I don't know, man. We gotta do an investigation here. What the fuck this is?
That's where I put myself first.
Let's see what this is. Because so if I have a scene inside of Daz, I can bring that scene out of Daz and place it over in Blender. That's what this does. I mean, am I right? I mean, that's what this does. See, I'm not too curious. I'm not worried about the characters. I can get the character. I can get my characters, customize my characters up and do whatever I want to. That's not the problem. The problem is bringing in whole scenes from Dash, setting my scenes up in Dash and bringing them over. That's what I want to do. I don't care too much about the character. I mean, what I gotta see somebody. Oh, I can bring Shell over? Add-ons, release a lot of complications. They have been reintegrated into the main add-on side. Instead, the Dash importer has been modularized. Many tools are not loaded by default to keep down the complexity of that. When was this posted? Oh shit, Philitone, really? So I can bring in anime tune style characters? It's time for a new state release for the Dash importer on the oh, okay. So this is just basically an add-on for alright, it's gotta be. I'm looking, man. I'm looking for, like... Okay, tell me... I guess tomorrow... tomorrow, man. When I get you on the show tomorrow, man, yeah, use it all the time for sets. Gotta get from there. Oh! Oh, so it will bring in the... See, that's what I need. That's exactly what I need. But it says it has an issue. I'm currently using... Previous version. It says 4.21 does not work with Blender. Does the still version does not work with Blender 4.3 due to API change. So the version I'm using. So I gotta. The problem is that AutoRig Pro doesn't work with 4.3. No, it works. Oh, by the way, AutoRig Pro works with 4.3, but it doesn't work with 4.4. This program doesn't work for 4.3, but it will work for 4.4. And it's basically the same thing, the API, yeah. But it does work with 4.4 and most likely 4.4. So, what I understand that Blender 4.3, for some reason, AutoRigger Pro crashes with it, alright? But they said that it does not crash at 4.4 or 4.1. Is it 4. I don't know. It's AutoRigger Pro screwed up until 4.1. That's what I understand. So I don't use it that much anyway. So I guess I can try it out. I'll try 4.4, but I don't know if the Blender 4.4 is yet compatible with. You know what? I forgot the update just came out. So the update just came out. I got the update and stuff for the Blender pipeline, so we might be working with 4.4. I just don't know if it's going to work with 4.1. I mean, I don't know. I do not know these things. But this is like a recent add-on. I think that's what it is. I read about it. They sent the email about it the other day about AutoRigger, and I was like, oh, really? But they said it works fine in 4.4. They said something got changed. Something got changed in 4.3. The API, once again, the issue right there. They did something in the API which is incompatible with something you do inside of 4.3, and when you try to do it, it crashes. AutoRigger will crash Blender, but they said that it probably won't be totally fixed until Blender 4.41. Now they said it's okay in 4.4, but they said it's an issue with it inside of 4.3. So take that as a whatever. But I'm gonna try this out, man. So you said this thing could bring in environments. So because the thing about DAS environments is that they're hard. They are fucking hard to bring in because you can bring in when you export it out of DAS, you'll probably get the meshes and some textures, but then again you have to sit back and go into Blender and reset up the nodes so it can look right. All the stuff in Blender looks beautiful, it looks wonderful, but the problem is that if you export and everything by FBX, you have to redo everything with all those fucking nodes, and you will go insane going into Blender. Blender's nodes are insane. You would need the node wrangler, and that's just part of a relief that you get. But working with all those nodes and knowing where all those nodes are and knowing what to add to make the nodes do. Now you can add some cool effects to some of the stuff. Some of the nodes, they have the nodes in there where you can do special effects to some of the textures and stuff like that. You can make shit glow, you can animate shit. You can make neon signs that are animated. You can do a lot of stuff with those nodes. I mean, the nodes are the most versatile, especially when it came out with the geometry nodes. Geometry nodes been killing it ever since they introduced that shit, and it's just been getting good ever since. You're going to use this add-on. I recommend taking your time off screen and read the articles and tutorials for it, because you have to add files from the zip into DAS plugins. Oh, I used it for the last Dragon Film stuff. The models and the scenes didn't have to reset up anything. I've used the add-on for most of anything that's come from DAS. Well, I guess if you're saying it's a handy tool, I will definitely get it. I will definitely get it. I will play around with it, but yeah, there's probably gonna be some off-screen time I'm gonna have to do that on. But yeah, yeah, that's something we're gonna have to do, folks. Let me get past this shit right here. But like I said, folks, this was a pretty fun exercise. I suggest anybody if you're gonna start playing around with this, do something small like this. This was small, as you can see. It's just this. That's all it is, and I don't know what this is. I don't know what this long ass line is, but it has something to do with this camera. I love it. I love working with the camera. I love working with the camera now. So I'm not gonna worry about saving this. The only thing I want to do now is open up Iclone. That's the only thing I mean, if I had like a couple people working with me, right? A couple people who knew what they was doing, right? I wouldn't mind working in Blender. Blender is a program that if you're doing it by yourself, it's going to be timely and costly. But if you got somebody else working with you, somebody that can like do the shit where you concentrate on the other shit, like me, I like to just concentrate on the animation and directing the camera and stuff like that. I like to have somebody come in and just do the fucking sets. Just put my sets in, because that's the same problems that I had with Unreal and DAS, is going back and forth, setting up the scenes, setting up the sets, setting up how the character's going to react to the environment and all the other shit, and that shit takes time. I just wish I could just say, hey, do this so I can get this done, and they do it, and they set up everything, and I just go in and just say, okay, everything's set up. I can just put the characters in there, animate them, and shit would go so fast if I had like 4 or 5 people doing it, working with me. And Iclone does not want to. Iclone doesn't want to launch. There it is. It's launching now. Oh, okay. That's what that is. Like I said, I'm getting used to this. It's the relationship line for the constraint. That's the for real. Is this current? Oh, Oh, this is the Blender 2 Unreal. Oh, I already know that. I'm looking for the DAZ 2 Blender. Oh, Polylink? Well, hold up, sir. Hold up, sir. What are we doing here? So you made this inside of Blender. He wants to export it out. Oh, sorry, folks. So does the textures and everything come out? So just make a folder. That's the way the folder structure should be. See, I would want to get DAZ bread or DG. See, but this is a year ago. DAZ 3D bridge to Blender, installation tutorial, step-by-step guide. So let's watch this. Let's watch this real quick.
We'll be going over how to install and configure the latest update to the DAZ to Blender bridge. To get started, you will first need to go to the DAZ store website and add the DAZ to Blender bridge to your account if you haven't already done so. Don't worry, the bridge is free and you can purchase it without entering any payment information. Just add the bridge to your cart like any other asset. Your cart total should be $0. Then click to proceed to purchase. The order summary should be $0.
I've done all this.
Click Place Order to finish adding. In DAZ Studio, go to the File menu, then to Send To. Here you should have an option for DAZ to Blender. When you click that, you'll see the updated DAZ to Blender bridge window. For most systems, DAZ Install Manager will automatically install the Blender plugin for you. However, if you recently installed a new version of Blender, then you can follow the next step. In the Advanced Settings section, go to Blender Plugin Installer. Select your Blender version. In this case, we're installing into Blender 3.6.
Yeah, so let's go to DAZ. Do the bridge, blah blah blah. Windows 7, 10 supported DAZ Studio versions 4. It's got 4.10 to 4. Huh? Oh, that's for DAZ Studio. Supported Blender versions. See, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Supported Blender is 2.8 to 2.83. Note that HD versions of the script is with Blender 2.8 and above. We're currently working on a version that would be compatible with 2.79 and below. Yeah. So, yeah. Blender release notes. Oh, so here's release notes. This is 2022, folks. So Blender 3.5 Genesis 9. So this is compatible with Genesis 9 for improved Genesis 9 support materials. So last time this thing been updated, like I said, is 2022. And it's like they only got it. I mean, I don't think they're going to even work to update this shit. I don't think so. But it has a GitHub thing right here. Subdivision, baking, geograph morphs, fix that's 2022. So yeah, so the so this will only work with Blender 3.5. So I mean, so this is what we can do. This is what I can do. I can use this and export stuff from DAZ to Blender 3.5, then save it out and then append it to 4.4. I mean, if that'll work. If it'll work. My issue with Unreal Engine is the fact I still have to move around in like I'm building a game, so I don't want someone good at it to use it in animate stuff. So I get it. Yeah. I felt the same way when I was using the Unreal Engine. as well. I felt the same way, man. Unreal Engine is basically for games. You know, we gotta look at it. It's a game engine that you can make machinima in. That's basically what machinima is. You know, so anything you do inside of Unreal Engine is basically machinima at this point. You know, it's high end, high grade machinima. You know, and it's hard. It's hard to like get around because most of the stuff you use in that program kind of crosses over with the game shit. You know, the only thing that's in there that's concerned to somebody like me who likes to make films inside of it is basically the sequencer. Everything I do revolves around the sequencer, the lights. Then what branches out from there is the lights, live link, importing animations and stuff like that. You know, it all breaks off from the damn sequencer. And what's the other tool? The other cinematic tool. It's called the live link. It's the take recorder and all that other shit. You know, so when you try to do anything inside of a Unreal Engine, that's where you got to start. That's basically where you got to start it. You got to start there. You got to start in you got to understand live link. You got to understand how to import stuff. You got to understand how the folder structures work. You got to understand the whole thing around the take recorder, the sequencer, how to use like how to get stuff from the outliner into the sequencer, which is really easy. And then from there, you know, you get to concern yourself with like, you know, how the folders are set up, how to get access to your content, all the other stuff, you know. And those are the things that I concentrated on, other than all the other shit in there. Like I didn't think about Niagara. I didn't think about all the shit that everybody's like the bells and whistles. I concentrated on the core stuff inside of it to where I get what I want out of it. You know, I'm not trying to make a game. I'm not trying to do other shit. I'm just trying to get to the core of what I'm trying to do inside. You know, same thing I'm doing with Blender now. I'm trying to I've exploited the modeling aspects of Blender, the creative stuff, and like building stuff up from the ground up. I've exploited that long enough. Now, after all these years of using Blender, I can get in here and start actually doing some animation, you know, and start playing around with it. And that's the whole reason for me to do that. You know, that's the whole reason of me, you know, just like taking time off from doing a lot of streaming and coming in here and working with it. So, I learned stuff. Like I learned about this plugin right here that Quasi was telling me. I didn't know Quasi was doing it. I thought Quasi found a way for the Dash Bridge to work. That's what I thought, but he found something better. But like I said, I want to have to spend my time and work on this. I get that, but the use of it is still rooted in game creation. In Blender, I can just drop it in and start. You know, true that, man. Yeah, exactly. I was able. You know, and it's good because when I went to Blender last night, and this is the thing about Blender. When I went to Blender last night, man, and I started playing around because I just said I got to get past my camera phobia inside of Blender. So I got to get past my phobia of cameras because I'm like last time I played around a camera, it didn't go well. So I was like, I'm not gonna mess with it because the cameras are shit and blah blah blah. But I went ahead and took a chance on it. Then I had to watch some videos, and the community is really good at Blender. You can learn anything. If you want anything you want to learn or do inside of Blender, there's someone out there with a tutorial for it anywhere, any place. You know. So so I got in there and I just fucking played around it. You know, I know how to get shit in there. You know, one thing I don't know how to do is like get the stuff that I'm doing in other programs to come in without little to no work to be done to it. But that's something that's going to have to happen over a certain amount of time, you know, as I get more familiar with the controls and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like getting inside of Blender and just not having to worry about the extra game shit. You know, just drop my characters in and knowing where to go to get the results I need. You know, and that's pretty cool. You know, you got like the lights. They've always had good lights in Blender. I think the lights have only gotten better. What was the other thing? The renderer. I think it's their particle. I think they did an overhaul on their particle system, and I never really used the particle system, but I've seen a couple tutorials I'm going to play around with the particles to see if I can do something cool. I've always wanted to do something cool inside of Blender with water. You know, I played around with the water simulations before. They take a long time to render, especially in cycles. I don't know how long it's going to take it to render inside of Eevee, but I know I rendered out a water scene inside a Blender once, and that shit took like a day to render. Yeah, I was like, never again. And that's one of the reasons I stopped using Blender like that for animation, is because of how long it takes it to render shit. You know, this is back during cycles. This is before Eevee became a thing. Now you got Eevee, you can get shit done faster, quicker, and in real time at that. You know, so Eevee was a godsend. You know, because a lot of filmmakers who are using Blender don't use cycles, they use Eevee. You know, they use Eevee because you can move faster. Now, I have seen them. They're doing stuff to cycles to make it move, to make it render faster. You know, damn, they're close to almost real time. You know, with cycles, if they can pull that off, that'll be great. You know, like I said, they're working on it. But yeah, you know, you can work in cycles and like in real, almost real time shit. But you gotta like play around with the settings. You gotta set the settings like really low. You know, but back then with cycles, cycles was the big thing going on back then, like almost 10 years ago. I remember everybody was talking about the cycles render engine being a great thing. It was a good thing, you know, because it gave more. It was really good at what it did, you know. But the problem is that it was slow as turd shit, you know. And back then I had like a NVIDIA 660 Ti. Everybody knows what a NVIDIA 660 Ti is. It was like 2 gigabits, two gigs of fun. It was 2 gigs of fun. And I had bought a 980. Then the next card I got was a 980 GT, the 980 GT. And the thing about it is that I was able to take those two cards and use SLI with those two cards. And what I would do is I would take the 660 and have the 660 run my simulations, and I would have the 980 do all the graphical communicate, do all the graphic stuff. So. And it worked out pretty good because I was able to run my simulations faster that way, you know. But it didn't save me no time. It didn't save me no time. I use it for like a compute unit almost. You know, with the cameras, you can select the type under the camera setting, and the cameras in the settings has a list of cameras. Yeah, I saw that last night. It has a Black Magic. It has a Tevia. I forgot it's Aptiva, a Tevia. It has a lot of good cameras in there. I saw that. I was like, damn. I mean, but that's for like if I'm doing like live action, and if I'm using like a Black Dragon or whatever, Black Magic Dragon, what the fuck it's called, and I wanted those settings on that camera to match what I'm doing inside of Blender, so I can composite something to a scene with a live actor. That's what you use it for, you know. But yeah, I saw that, man. That's pretty fucking cool. I mean, I necessarily wouldn't use that to like. You know, I would just make my own custom camera inside of Blender from doing something inside of Blender. But if I was like compositing something and somebody was using a professional grade type of camera, then I would have to probably like go to those settings and tweak those settings so I can have so everything I'm doing would match that camera that's in the real world. Yeah, I use Eevee and it can get great results. Yeah, you can get great results. Cycles. I actually rendered a couple of frames out in Cycles last night of that animation. And it came out looking really good. It came out looking better than something I would get out of an Unreal Engine almost, you know. His skin was looking really good. I mean, I got like some real good textures going on in his skin inside of Eevee, but you can tell the difference. Cycles, you can definitely tell the difference. If your stuff is like set up real high, like I had mine like set up real high, and it looked real good. The lighting looked good. The weapon looked really good. His jacket looked great. And I got some good results out of that, you know. And I'm like, if only Cycles didn't take like 5 generations of your children growing up and then them having 5 generations to render out a couple of frames, I'm like, that would be good. That would be really fucking good. But yeah, folks. So I think I've been on here. I've been up for 2 hours, ranting and raving to get y'all ready for tomorrow's super stream, which is I'm gonna have I'm gonna try to get Ben back on. I'm gonna try to get Jet back on, and then I'm gonna try to get I'm definitely Quasi's definitely gonna be somebody that's gonna be on the Saturday stream. Him and Jet are probably gonna be coming on a lot on Saturdays. The thing about Saturday is we're gonna try to get through a lot of stuff. We're gonna try to talk about. We're gonna like give out demos. So we're gonna actually do real time animation demos. I really want to talk to, and talk about, stuff we do, tips, tricks, all the other good shit that we do, and learn. Now, the whole thing is about coming over here and learning stuff, understanding new things. Autumn says, I need to get a new tower and I will be good to go. And I can't start back in Blender, Dash 3D, Unreal, and iClone, at least Character Creator. What happened to the computer that our friend Ibis gave you? What happened to it? Don't it work? Yeah, I know he wouldn't send you a bunk computer. I know he wouldn't do that. Here's another scene. This is another scene that I made. I think I pulled this scene over into I did pull this scene over to Dash. I mean into Blender. I keep on getting Dash, A, B, C, Dash, Blender Dash. The tower stopped working a while ago. What did you do? What did you do to the computer, woman? Did you check to see if it was the power source, the PSU? Sometimes that'll stop a computer from working, or it could be the graphics card. So here's the other scene. I made this scene. Now this is another test scene I made. I made this scene to put inside of Unreal. I think I got the camera. Now this one, not Unreal. I mean, put this inside of Blender. So I made the scene just so I could put this inside of play with this inside of Blender. I added this robot. This robot is his. That's her robot. So I'm gonna have this. I gotta animate this robot. But the whole thing is to get the practice of now this has a 2 camera setup, and the thing is that I'm gonna go in there and set up 2 cameras when I do this one. When I do this sample, and when I do it, I will definitely record everything and show you guys, the result of it. I should actually call the girl up and do the voice for her and just write out a quick little scene or whatever. Just like this, but yeah. But anyway, folks, I have no clue what's wrong. Oh man, have you tried to take it to somebody who work on computers and have them look at it? I mean, I'm too far away to come to your house and look at your computer. Only thing I can just take it to Best Buy, and just ask them, just leave it there and say, can you tell me what's wrong? And they can look at it, Either it's something simple or it's basically they can just take it and have it and throw it in the trash or something. I mean, that's what I would do. I would try to get somebody to look at it, take some tech who can plug it in. I bet you it's only be a couple things, right? The main thing is actually it's 4 things. It's either the motherboard's dead, CPU dead, GPU could be dead, or the PSU is dead. All right, so the 5th thing is you could have some memory modules that are bad in it. So those are the top 5 things that could be wrong with your computer. Just have somebody look at it. It might be something simple. It might be like you gotta replace a PSU or something, but it shouldn't be too much. And then again, you can always I will always tell people save you up some money and just buy a computer. Just buy one. Just buy a computer. Just buy one. Buy one or build one. I will build one before I buy one. I last computer I bought was a Gateway. That was way back in 2000. 2000 was the last time I ever bought a computer. Oh my bad. I bought a laptop. I bought 2 laptops, but last laptop I bought was in 2018. That's because I needed one. The next computer I plan on buying is going to be it's an Apple tablet, a Apple Pro tablet. So that's the next computer I'm going to buy because I can't build one of those. I mean, I think I could build a tablet. I never tried to build a tablet, but there are kits out there to where you can build a tablet any size you want to. You can build a tablet. There are kits out there. You got to go to the places like Alibaba and Temu to get the parts and shit from, but you can definitely build your own tablet, from scratch if you know what you're doing. I mean, the thing you got to know how to do is solder. Soldering is the hardest fucking thing to do, and that's the one thing that's keeping me from making my own motherboards. But other than that, folks, tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'm gonna go ahead and catch me some lunch. I had a great time streaming and showing you results of my test with test with Blender and iClone and seeing and trying to figure out what type of animation that I want to do. I want to do, if I do something inside of Blender, it won't be what I'm doing inside of Unreal Engine, because I feel that I will have to start over. So if I want to do something, you know, I would probably, you know, if I was to do something, and since Quasi is also working on Last Dragon, I would just probably take all the stuff that I have in that I've done already in Last Dragon and just bring it over into Blender. You know, that way I can, me and Quasi can go back and forth and work on the shit together, instead of him being on this side of tracks and me being on this side of tracks, which is my tracks. Well, my side of tracks a little bit better than his side of tracks, you know. you know, we got a lot over here. We got Blender, we got Blender and iClone, you know, that shit. But I'm just poking some fun at you, dude. Don't take it personal. I don't know if I can afford building my own computer. I may be able to just buy one. Just buy a computer. Just ask me. You can actually, I think some places you can like get a computer and make payments on it, but I don't suggest that, because sometimes some of these places you buy a computer for will give you jack shit crap, you know, unless you go through and let them know what components you want inside a computer. Because if you don't know what you're getting from these people, they will give you shit, you know. I always say, like, call somebody to know what they're getting. Therefore, when they build your computer, they're building you something that you can use, not something that you're going to throw away, you know, after a year or so. You know, something that you can upgrade and fix and put together. But anyway, folks, thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for the likes. And if anybody shows up after this stream is done, please hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. And I guarantee you, folks, you're going to get something out here. You're going to learn something out this channel. This channel is all about learning. You know, all about learning and sometimes being humble, and sometimes talking about the stuff that other people do, which makes no sense. Like somebody making a whole song about pee. Yes, someone made a whole song. Yes, folks. Someone has made a whole song about how angry they are about their pee-pee. Hold up, folks. I'm looking for it now. Hold up. I'm gonna. This is the remix edition. Who made this? Oh, this is Don Thack. I'm like, who made this? Is this new? Don Thack ain't made a video in months. Yeah, Don Thack ain't made a video in years. Hold up. I'm trying to find Mr. Bones, folks. I'm trying to find him. Where is he? But yeah, folks, where's the video at? Yeah, he made a video 18 hours ago. It's this one. So I would say it's funny.
Had to go do.
But this guy, he made a whole song. I guess dedicated to me. I guess. I think it starts here. Hold on. Let's play. Let's play. Let me see if I'm right. Is it start here?
So, but just let it all be known and let it all be done. Oh,
It's 18.
oh. 17 minutes. 1, 2. Hey.
Oh, here we go, folks. Here we go. It's the I'm gonna leave. It's the PP song by they saw he's showing my PP around song by True. Somebody's gotta download. I'm hoping Tom Fox, if you watch this video, please download this. Send it to me so I can cut this part out. Where is it? Where's the song?
So look out, Theo. Sexual registry. Golly. You. Moderator Katie Hassan Rashid is not my mom. Consequences. Come get some, Bishop.
Where is the
We
PP
got
song?
this. Bam! I'm a pirate, and then
Hold up.
I don't like sad music.
The kids you know best can get Michigan's best pediatric.
I have nothing to hide. Go ahead, be my guest. But if you want to mess around with this,
What's the point of getting mad at being caught live doing something stupid? I know. Well, this folks is another internet bully who's got his comeuppance.
over here, which
And
nothing.
he did a whole song about showing his pee-pee, and I want to play that.
They're going to use that. And
Where is it?
so
It's in here somewhere.
ups up in my bathroom.
Oh, here it is. We found it.
Unless you want your PP to be exposed. So
So here we go, folks. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna leave you guys with this video of the day, folks. This shit's hilarious. It's fucking funny, and I think this is straight comedy. This is comedy at its best. But context is that he made a video of himself going to take a pee-pee, and he recorded himself all on YouTube. Someone found that video and has reposted it up. Now, he claims it's me. It's not me. It's definitely not me. He knows who did it. He knows it's impossible that person who did it can't be me, because that person has proven to Joe that it's not me. But Joe wants everybody to believe that I'm going around showing his pee-pee around. I don't care about Joe's pee-pee. Joe's pee-pee is his pee-pee, not my pee-pee. I care about my pee-pee, not his pee-pee. All right? So I wish he would keep his PP with himself. But he had to make up songs. So here is the True Bones mother effing remix of True Bones Joey's Little PP. Here we go.
oh, don't mess with it. Unless you want your PP to be exposed.
No! Here we go.
My PP was exposed on the internet by my foes. I got too many psyops up in my bathroom. Oh. Psyops in my bathroom. They don't like my mom. They keep bashing on my mom. She's not my mom. Oh. Haven't you noticed that her last name is different than...
Well, folks, growing. PP. I know, folks. I know. You know, he hasn't even took this down. I would take this shit down. I'm done, folks. It's your boy One Gundam Side. I hope you guys have a nice, cheerful, and eventful day, and having fun and all of the good shit, because, you know, life is too short to be stupid like him or like Larry, you know. Especially like Larry. Actually, you know what? Joe's having a better time at life than Larry is right now. I will give it to Joe. Joe's having the best time in his life right now. Larry isn't. Larry's pathetic, you know. Joe, he may be pathetic, but he's happy being pathetic, unlike Larry. But anyway, folks, this is your boy One Gun. I'll see you in the future. You all have a wonderful, nice, pleasant, and beautiful day. And like always, folks, please like, subscribe to the channel. And I will definitely see you in the future. Peace out, folks. Peace out.
Yeah, you could call me filthy. 어멀리에서 왔지. NYC Timberland 구두 입고 왔지. LAX touchdown. I ain't sleeping a beat. Sleep on a beach. 차나머니까 도착했지. 난 아직 알지. I got a lot of things on my mind. 말만 하지. You are the suckers playing games. I've been through it all. 지옥 같은 인생 put into a song. Stupid long. Get in the car. 지금 rodeo driving. Sonny, we be riding. Top down, cruising down, freeway vibing, California calling. my soul. Hold on, yeah, hold up, yeah. I talk it Beverly, off that century. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? 나 지금 왔지, you know. 파란새로 왔지, 난 멀리 갔지. Okay, I'm out here chilling on the balcony. 여기가 좋지. 좋아할 줄 몰라서 나 지금 so me. And so many times 뉴욕 절대 떠날 생각도 마라. Flying high, 추운 날씨 피해 캘리 또 가봐. 꿈을 꿔. I've been dreaming about this ever since day one. I was young, 어렸을 때부터 제일 원했던. Talk about the money 내가 벌었던. 버릇없이 talk about my day ones 내가 버렸던. Dreaming of a brighter day, you know I had to dim it some. 찾아가야 되는 길이 이미 길었어. 가야 되는데 hopping off of that brand new pants. Okay, now no new friends. When I'm a god that I'm innocent. 야 기억해 주머니 써 찾고 있어 my flip phone. 내 인생 like a bad dream 계속 서 있어. 뛰어도 원인을 속아서 적게 돼봐. Yeah, 시작 아직 앉아서 nothing. 사람이 뭐래도 I'm my bad. You wouldn't believe all the times in my life 내가 포기할 자신. 난 누가 나를 봐도 알아줄 수 있는 거는 내가 팔로처럼 I'm wavy. Rodeo driving, sunny we be riding. Top down, cruising down, freeway vibing. California calling, LA got the party. Chilling out in K-Town, terracotta get down. Hold on, yeah, hold up, yeah. Venice Beach, Malibu, that's the truth. Hold my soul, hold on, yeah, hold up, yeah. I talk it Beverly, off that century, know what I mean? Malibu and now with two. Sandy Beach is 소중한 내 소정 유는진이 계속 value you and Jenny cool. I'll be back in LA soon, guess that's the move, yeah. Malibu and now with two. Sandy Beach is 소중한 내 소정 유는진이 계속 value you and Jenny cool. I'll be back in LA soon, guess that's the move.